Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. Today we will see the application of the Fourier transform. That is, today we will see about the finite wave train. So let us start with the finite wave train. This wave train basically, we can say that this is a pulse, or we can say that this is a finite wave pulse. That is, we are going to see this is an important application of the Fourier transform. So today we will see the resolution of this finite pulse into the sinusoidal wave. Its application can be seen in the digital electronics. So let us consider, suppose a function is given. This is a sinusoidal function. This is a sinusoidal function somehow like this, and it represents the time coordinate. And this is suppose function of any function of t. Here I am writing this is the f of t. Let us consider the function. Here I am writing, suppose the function f of t is equal to sine omega naught t, sine omega naught t and 0. These are the two values. Suppose the function contains the two values, that is sine omega naught t, and another value is 0 at some condition, that is when the time t modulus is less than n pi by omega, then this is n pi by omega, then in that condition the function will have the value sine omega naught t, and its value will be 0 when this modulus of t will be greater than n pi by omega. This is basically a sine function. This, suppose I am considering this sine omega naught t, it has maximum n pi values, or we can write it as this is equal to sine n pi, suppose. Then here in this condition we can compare this omega naught t with this n pi. So we can write omega naught t will be equal to n pi. So this t will be equal to, that implies this t will be equal to n pi divided by omega naught. So from this condition the value of t comes, that is in one condition, suppose n pi by omega, this will be the modulus. Here I am considering its value is when mod t is less than n pi by omega naught, its value is sine omega naught t, and when this modulus of t is greater than n pi by omega naught, then the function value is 0. This is basically what the graph represents, because the sine 0 is 0 and the sine pi value is also 0. Its application can be seen in the clipper circuit. If you know, the clipper circuit means some part of the wave it will get clipped. That means that the wave we are sending so through the clipper circuit, then some of the part it will be get clipped, and finally we will get some modified pulses. Okay, not going to further details in this digital part. So let us come back to the Fourier transform. Now we can write the Fourier sine transform of this function. We can write, suppose I am converting this into the omega domain. So we can write this as, suppose f of omega, this is the Fourier transform in the omega domain, that is the frequency domain. This will be equal to root over of 2 by pi integration over, I will write the integration value, the limiting value, then integration over sine omega naught t, that is the function here I am writing. Let me write first the formula, that is f of t sine omega t into dt. This is our function. F of t is our sine omega naught t. This is the Fourier sine transform representation. Now we will put the limit. This is equal to 2 by pi, total I am writing again, root over 2 by pi integration over this omega t, f of t is my sine omega naught t into sine omega t into dt, sine omega t into dt. Now our limiting value is, it varies from 0 to t value is n pi by omega. So you can write here as n pi by omega. Now we have to solve this integration. This is from 0 to n pi by omega. Now we have to solve this equation, that is the integration sin omega t, sin omega naught t into sin omega t dt. Okay. We know sin A into sin B. Here I am writing cosine A minus B, cosine A minus B into, minus cosine A plus B, cosine A plus B whole divided by 2. Okay, this is our formula. Now if I put this in the above equation, then this f of omega will be equal to, this is 1 by 2, here I am writing 1 by 2 into root over 2 by pi into integration over, this is 0 to n pi by omega, this is n pi divided by omega into, we can write cosine omega naught minus omega, here omega naught minus omega, because cos A minus B is here, omega naught t minus omega t, so taking t common, this will be omega naught minus omega whole into t minus cosine of omega naught plus omega whole into t, omega naught plus omega whole into t, okay, into dt. This is whole into dt, right? Here we have just substituted the value of sin A into sin B, that is equal to cos A minus B minus cos A plus B divided by 2 in this Fourier sine transform equation. Okay. Now if we will integrate this term, this will be equal to 1 by 2 into 2 by pi root over, this is root over of 2 by pi, integration will be 0 to n pi by omega. I am directly calculating the integration value. So this is equal to sine of, cosine integration is sine omega naught minus omega whole into t divided by omega naught minus omega. Okay, this is omega naught minus omega. Again for the second part, here we can write minus cosine integration is sine, this is omega naught plus omega whole into t divided by omega naught plus omega. This is for the second part. Here I am writing this is for second part and this is for your first part. And this whole at the limit 0 to n pi by omega. This is n pi divided by omega. Okay. Now in this equation, if I put the integration limiting value, that is the t value will be first n pi by omega. Here in this first term, this t value will be n pi by omega. Then minus of sine this much 0, that sine 0 is 0. So I am not taking the lower limit because in all these two cases sine 0 is 0. So only I have to put the upper limit. So here I am directly putting the limit in this equation. So in place of t, here I am directly writing n pi by omega. Okay, this is n pi divided by omega. Okay, and in the second term also, here I am writing, this is also n pi divided by omega, n pi divided by omega. Okay, we have already substituted the limiting value. So now this part will be like this much, this will be sin n pi by omega only part. I will write this. This is only sin this much n pi divided by omega. Okay, we have substituted our limiting value. Let me write this equation on the next page, that is f of omega equal to 1 by 2 into root over 2 by pi into this total bracketed term. Let me write in the next page, f of omega equal to 1 by 2 into root over 2 by pi into sin omega minus omega naught. In place of t we have substituted n pi by omega. So this is n pi by omega whole divided by omega minus omega naught, and the second term is minus sine of omega plus omega naught, omega plus omega naught whole into n pi by omega, n pi divided by omega whole divided by omega plus omega naught. Okay, this is our final expression. Now let us see in these two terms, in this first term and the second term, which part, whether first part or the second part, it will depend on this f of omega. So here you can see that when this omega value will be nearly equal to omega naught, when this omega will be nearly equal to omega naught, in this condition this value, the second term, goes to 0. Why? Because you can see that here if I will put omega naught equal to omega, then this will be omega naught plus omega naught, and here also omega naught plus omega naught. In the second term here I am putting just this will be omega naught. In the second term, only in the second term I am substituting. Let me write the equation again. Let me write when omega tends to omega 0. Okay, when omega tends to omega 0, this will be equal to 1 by 2 into 2 by pi root over, this will remain as it is, into the value of final integration value is our, here I am writing for limit omega tends to omega naught. For this case this will be sine omega minus omega naught, omega minus omega naught into n pi by omega divided by omega minus omega naught. Okay, this is our first term. And in the second term you can see that if I put the value of omega naught here, so omega equal to omega naught, then this will be minus sine twice of omega naught, omega naught plus omega naught, this will be twice omega naught, into n pi by omega naught into n pi divided by omega naught whole divided by this omega naught plus omega naught, here also twice of omega naught. So if I will cancel this omega naught with omega naught, this will be twice of n pi. Sin n pi is 0, so that sin 2n pi is also 0. So here this second term goes to 0. Clear? Now we will focus on the first term only. This will be equal to 1 by 2 into root over of 2 by pi. In this part you can see that in this first part, if I will multiply one n pi by omega here, if I will multiply this n pi by omega here, that is in the denominator and numerator, if I will multiply n pi by omega, then this will be equal to, here I can write, this will be n pi by omega, here I am writing n pi by omega. Let me write the limit part first. Limit omega tends to omega naught, this is limit omega tends to omega naught. If I am multiplying here n pi by omega into, this will be sine omega minus omega naught, omega minus omega naught into n pi by omega, n pi divided by omega, and whole divided by here omega minus omega naught whole into n pi by omega. Here I am just multiplying this n pi by omega in the denominator and the numerator, this part only. Here I am multiplying this n pi by omega here, so that if I multiply this n pi by omega here, the 2 will get cancelled, the value will remain as it is. Okay. Now you can see that when I will put the omega tends to omega naught value, then this will be n pi by omega naught. Here this will be equal to 1 by 2 into root over 2 by pi. The first is n pi by omega naught is here, n pi by omega naught, and the limit omega tends to omega naught, this total value, that is limit omega tends to omega naught into sine omega minus omega naught, omega minus omega naught into n pi by omega, n pi divided by omega whole divided by omega minus omega naught into this n pi by omega, that is n pi by omega. Here I am writing n pi by omega. So this will be from this is totally by applying the L'Hospital rule, this total value is your 1. This total value is 1 if limit omega tends to omega naught. If you can remember, when limit x tends to 0, this sin x divided by x, that is sin 0 is 0 and this is in the form of 0 by 0. In this condition we apply the L'Hospital rule. L'Hospital rule, okay. This L'Hospital rule, here also we are applying this L'Hospital rule. That is, in this case also, if we will put omega tends to omega 0, that is sin 0 is 0 and in the both the denominator and the numerator it goes to 0. So that's why it is in the 0 by 0 form, that is undetermined form. That's why if you will apply the L'Hospital rule, then the final value is also 1. Okay, so here you can see that this f of omega value, this f of omega, we can write this as, this is equal to the value of f of omega is equal to, if we will cancel this 2 with the root 2, then this will be 1 by root over 2 pi. This will be 1 by root over 2 pi because this 2 is nothing but root over 2 into root over 2. That's why 1 root 2 get cancelled. This will be 1 by root over 2 pi into, here also pi divided by root over pi is, we are not dividing this. Here I am taking this n pi by omega naught separately. So this is my final expression, that is only this part 1 by 2 into root over 2 pi is 1 divided by root over 2 pi and this n pi by omega naught term remain as it is. So this is our final expression for the finite waveplane. This is in the Fourier transform equation. But the condition is that the function in that sin omega naught t form. When the function is in the form of sinusoidal curve, then for that condition this Fourier transform is applied. This is applicable only on that condition. Now if we will plot the curve between this omega naught and this f of omega naught, f of omega, then now let me plot the graph for the omega versus f of omega. Okay, this will be our omega, this is omega axis and this is f of omega, that is Fourier transform of that function f of omega axis. This f of omega is nothing but 1 by root over 2 pi, 1 by root over 2 pi into n pi by omega into n pi divided by omega naught. Here I am writing n pi by omega naught. Okay, this is a Fourier transform. Here we can see that this omega naught minus omega divided by this omega naught divided by, this is equal to, suppose I am writing this as delta omega, that is this change omega to omega naught, this is suppose delta omega divided by omega naught. If this exists, the zeros for this, if it exists, then for what condition? Now you can see that in this omega naught, if you will put plus or minus 1 by n, plus or minus 2 by n and so on, plus or minus 2 by n and so on. So in that case we can say that this delta omega by omega naught zeros exist. So here this condition is applicable if delta omega divided by omega naught equal to plus or minus 1 by n, plus or minus 2 by n and so on. So this exists, this will exist only if this delta omega by omega naught value is plus or minus 1 by n, plus or minus 2 by n and so on. So that the f of omega, this f of omega now will behave like a Dirac delta function. So it will behave like a Dirac delta function. Dirac delta function. So let me represent this. The graph will be in the form of like, it will rises at this point, then it will goes like this, and similarly on the left hand side it will be like this. This is the point at omega equal to omega naught. That is the maximum value will be find at this point omega equal to omega naught, and at every other point the function will goes to 0. In the coming lecture we will see the behavior of the Dirac delta function in the Fourier transform. Okay, we will represent this Dirac delta function in the Fourier transform representation. So from this finite wave train, that is f of t equal to sin omega naught t when mod t is less than n pi by omega naught, and 0 when mod t is greater than n pi by omega naught. From this value we have calculated the Fourier transform equation, that is f of omega equal to 1 by root over of 2 pi n pi by omega naught. So this is all for today. If you have any doubt, can ask me in the comment section. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.